much for joining me for this full-length Pilates mat class where we will be tweaking our teaser. Woo, that's a tongue twister. Anyways, we're going to be working a lot on teaser today, a lot on body position, stretching out the hamstrings a little bit to try to help us lift those legs right up. So let's go ahead. We're going to put our feet flat on the mat, gently hold on to the sides of our thighs with 2 fingers. My heels are sits bones distance apart. I'm going to tuck my tail, exhale, and find a nice, slow, controlled articulation down to the mat. From there, I'm going to walk my heels into my glutes a little bit more so that I can find a comfortable neutral spine. My sacrum's flat. I have a slight lift between the tops of my hip bones and my 12th rib. My scapula are nice and flat and wide. I'm going to bring my fingertips, my middle fingers are going to touch in the center at where my sternum and 12th rib meet. And then straight from there, I'm going to lift them straight up. A lot of times we want to go like this, but straight up. And then from there, I'm going to be able to lock in and squeeze under my arms a little bit better. My palms are facing away from me. I have a wrap in my glutes. My heels are connected to the mat. I can wiggle my toes gently. I can shake out my head. I'm going to inhale, exhale, and curl up, reaching long for the end of the mat, squeezing under the arms, really finding a nice deep rib connection here. And then I'm going to lower my head, neck, and shoulders, lift my fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale to lift. I'm going to inhale at the top while I hold it for a second, finding all those deep connections with the ribs and the shoulders and the underarms, and exhale to lower. And exhale to lift. Now I have a nice little space between my chin and my chest. Imagine you're holding an apple or an orange, or perhaps an egg. That's my favorite one, because if you crunch your chin to the chest, you've crushed your egg and you've yolk all over your front. But if you lift your chin too high, the egg's rolled away. Uncurl. Leaving your hands where they are, march your right leg to tabletop, left leg to tabletop. Find that rib to hip connection here to maintain that neutral spine. Stack those knees directly over the hips and keep your shins perpendicular with the mat, palms facing away from you. Inhale, exhale to curl up, reaching long for where the end of the mat is. Really connecting those ribs, drawing them together, squeezing under the arms, dropping the belly button to the spine, and uncurl. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale at the top, make sure you have that space between your chin and your chest, and lower. On this next one, we're going to stay up and do some footwork. Inhale, exhale to lift. Leave your legs parallel with your knees, with your feet pointed, and press those legs to working level, and pull them back on the exhale. Inhale away, and exhale to pull. I really want to pull my legs past the 90 degrees tabletop, but leave them there, right? And make sure that you're lifting your legs high enough on this warm-up to where you're not rocking over your tailbone and arching in your back. Here's 9. And here is 10. Now, turn your feet and legs out to a frog position or a Pilates V position. So my knees are tracking over my big toe. I'm squeezing my glutes, rotating my femur in my hip socket. Press through the heels and exhale to pull back. And press through the heels, narrow in the sits bones, pull back. Press through the heels, narrow the sits bones, squeeze the inner thighs, and pull. Guys, again, make sure that you're leaving that space between your chin and your chest. Here's 5. If at any time you need to rest your head, neck, and shoulders, please do so. We will be offering a little bit of release in just a second. Here's 8. And 9. And here's 10. Stay out there. Interlace your fingers. Place them at the base of your skull. Thumbs long down your neck. Point your toes. And now beat your heels. Tiny ballet beats for 1. Or tiny beat heel beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Crisscross beats, crossing out the thigh for 1 and cross. 2 and cross. 3. These are ballet beats. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Legs up to the ceiling. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Release your hands. We're going to do scissors, double leg lower lift, and hundreds next. So, keeping my feet in parallel. Fingertips coming up out of my sternum 12th rib. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Right leg comes towards your nose, and then you grab it, pull, pull, switch. Bring the leg leg towards the nose. Don't bring your nose towards the leg. Here's 3. We're going to 8, 4. Hold on anywhere except for behind the knee, because it causes our knees to bend. Anywhere you want. 1 more. Legs up to the ceiling. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Turn your feet out to Pilates V, rotating the femur and the hip socket, squeezing those glutes together, narrowing the sits bones. Place your fingers interlaced at the base of your skull and the top of your neck, thumbs long down your neck. Lift your elbows to your periphery. Connect under the arms, wrap the ribs together tightly so they're not flaring. Inhale, exhale, lift. Support your head and your hands, look at your knees, lower your feet, and lift your feet. We're doing it at the same speed. I want to make sure we're not tucking our tails. As you lower, really squeeze the glutes. Here's 4. And 5. Here's 6. And 7. And 8. Stay there. Release your hands down by your side. Here's the hundreds. Begin pumping. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. Lift your feet up a little bit if your abs are a little tired from all that work. You can go here. You can go to working level. You can go frog. You can go parallel to hook. You can extend long and parallel. Wherever you find it to be really good for you today. Here's 7, but make sure your sacrum's flat. 8, 9, and 10. Lift your right leg up, lower your left leg down, rest your head, neck, and shoulders. It's time for single leg circles. Connect through that left leg, squeezing the glute, extending energy out of that leg. Place your hands flat on the mat. Give me a slight bend in your elbows. Section cup your hands down so that you're able to flatten and widen your shoulder blades with a nice open collarbone. We're going to inhale the leg across the body and exhale it back up. The more that you press through that standing leg or the leg that's on the mat, the easier it's going to be to keep your body from wobbling. Here's 4, 5, we're going to go to 6, and then we're going to reverse. So inhale the leg away from the body and exhale up and around in the circle. Inhale away and down, exhale up. Inhale. Here's 4. Here's 5. And here's 6. Leaving that leg up, float the left leg up as the right leg lowers. Really long, stretch that right leg out, shoot energy out of the toes, ground through that right leg. So press in through the hamstrings, squeeze the glutes, extend that leg up to the ceiling. Now we're going to go across the body. Inhale, down, and exhale around and up. Inhale, around and down, exhale up. Really draw the ribs together. Drop the belly button to the spine. Squeeze the glutes. And connect those back ribs down to the mat. Now reverse. Inhale away from the body and down. Exhale around and up. Inhale down. 2. Here's 3. 4. And 5. And here is 6. Now lower that leg down to the mat. We're squeezing our legs together in a Pilates V position. We're going to do roll up. I'm going to flip my fingers up out of my sternum, 12th rib. We're going to modify the roll up slightly to mimic the teaser position when we're folded over our legs. So on the first one, connect under the arms. We're going to inhale, peel our head, neck, and shoulders off. When our sacrum starts to peel off, we're going to exhale, fold over our legs, biceps by your ears. Now lift up into a flat back hinge position. So your biceps are by your ears, unless you have shoulder problems. Please drop them down if that's the case. Drawing the ribs together, drawing the belly button to the spine, squeezing the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Fold back over your legs and articulate back on the inhale. And exhale when your sacrum hits. Inhale, begin to peel off. Exhale over the legs. Inhale to flat back hinge up. Exhale to fold over the legs. Inhale to articulate back. Exhale down to the mat. And inhale, articulate up. Exhale over the legs. Inhale, flat back hinge up. Exhale over legs. Inhale back. And exhale down. Now that we have the breath pattern, we're going to do this on our own while I continue to talk to it. So we're going to begin to peel off. When we pull down, we pull up with our head, we pull down with our spine that's still connected to the mat. We're going to fold over our legs. As we lift, we're going to draw our belly button to our spine, but we're not going to arch our back here, guys. We're going to connect strongly. So we're in a nice flat back position. Then we round over, and then we articulate down. We have two more. Peel up, so pull down as you pull up with your head. Exhale over your legs, drawing back with your belly button. Finding that rib to hip connection. Flat back hinge up now. Exhale over your legs. Inhale back. Final one, let's just count the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale all the way down to the mat. From there, we're going to inhale and lift up into seated tall. I'm going to flip myself slightly to an angle. I am on a elevated mat, so things are a little bit more challenging for me in terms of rolling around. But I'm going to lift my arms up to the ceiling, biceps by my ears, hopefully. If not, raise it wherever is comfortable for you. I'm going to inhale as I reach for where the wall and the ceiling meet in a side bend. I'm not crunching over into the side. I'm lifting up out of both sides while my opposite hip is grounded, and then I squeeze my obliques to the opposite side and lift back up. And now I'm going to go the opposite way. Reach up nice and long and exhale to lift. We have two more to each side. Guys, again here, really sit up nice and tall. Again, this should resemble a teaser position if we were to stick ourselves on our sit bones. And up. Now arms out to a T, bring them in your periphery. Don't swing your arms back to increase your rotation, but we're going to do spine stretch. So we're going to rotate, or spine twist, we're going to rotate to the right and come back through center, growing taller. And rotate to the left and come back to center, getting taller. Now rotate to the right and try to bring your gaze, look back at your hand behind you. And rotate the opposite direction. Guys, I do have a tiny slight bend in my elbow so that I'm really able to connect under the arms here. Good. Now we're going to come to face the very end of the mat again and tuck our tail and articulate back. We're going to do reverse ab curl, and then we're going to do corkscrew 1 and 2 before we do sideline legs. So I'm going to scooch down a little bit. Whoop. Crunch one leg in my chest, the other leg into my chest. I'm going to leave my legs here. When I do reverse ab curl, I'm not going to extend my legs to swing myself over. This is a deep abdominal connection, a deep abdominal exercise. We don't want our shoulders to fly off either. So I'm going to do a slight bend in my elbows, suction cut my hands to the mat. My shoulders are nice and wide. I'm going to inhale, exhale, imprint my spine, and then peel my tail off. Lower and come back to neutral. It's not going to look like much. It's going to feel like trying to move a boulder uphill. Imprint and peel, and imprint and neutral. Now imprint and peel. The faster you go, the more likely you are to fling your shoulders up to your ears. And imprint and lift, and imprint and neutral. Okay, imprint and lift, imprint and neutral. One more to each side, imprint and lift, imprint and neutral, and extend the legs. Leave the hands where they are. For corkscrew 1, it's going to be as if we have both hips planted into the ground. So they're not going to move. My legs are going to slide against each other to accommodate the legs moving from side to side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm at 12 o'clock. I'm going to slide my legs over to the left. I'm going to slide my legs down to 6. They're going to be parallel again. I'm going to slide my legs over to the right. I'm we're going to come out to center. When I look at this, my clock's always backwards. We're going to reverse. We're going to go to the right. We're going to go down to 6. We're going to go to the left. And we're going to come up to 12. And now we're going to go to the left. 6, right. 12, right. 6, left. 12. One more to each side. Good. Final one, guys. And now we're going to do corkscrew 1, which is a straight leg reverse ab curl. And we're going to roll down one side. When we go to 6, we're going to be on both hip bones and a neutral spine. And then we're going to go to the opposite direction and lift back up for a reverse ab curl at 12. So every time we're at 12, it's reverse ab curl. So we're going to lift up at 12. Now we're going to slide down. We're going to articulate down the left side. Our legs are going to come down. When we're at 6, both hips will connect. When we start to go to the right, we're going to come up onto the right hip. My 12th rib is still down. When we come to 12, we're going to lift up into a reverse ab curl. And then we're going to go to the right. Both hips are neutral at 6. We're going to go to the left and then lift before our hips connect. The only place both hips are connected here is at 6. Otherwise, we're lifted around one hip. Ooh, feel that ab connection. And lift. Try not to swing your legs all the way over your head. Try to leave them as up to the ceiling as you possibly can. Now, lower the legs down. Roll to the right. We're going to be doing sideline legs here. I do have my arm is a pillow. So I've taken my bottom arm and I've taken my palm. It's facing the back. And then I pat myself on my back and I rest my head on my arm. From there, I'm going to turn my legs out to Pilates feet. I'm going to lift up out of my side closest to the mat. I'm going to lower and lift my leg for 10, 9, 8. Try to keep that lift in your side. And don't crunch down. We're just rotating the leg around in that hip socket, just moving around. Press down through the leg that's still connected to the mat. I think we have one more. Now, I'm going to turn both feet out to Pilates, or to parallel, flex both feet, lift my top leg up to hip height. I'm going to point that foot, I'm going to bring it forward, and I'm going to flex it, and I'm going to bring it back. When my legs are stacked on top of each other, I'm going to squeeze my glutes to pull my leg behind me. Imagine swimming on your side. Point the foot to bring it forward and flex. And squeeze that glute to pull it back. Here's 3. And 4. Keep that space between your waist and the mat. So imagine little ants are going to crawl underneath. Here's 7. You can bring your hand to your hip if you want a little extra challenge. I'm right on the edge of this mat, so I'm a little bit more nervous. Here's 2. And here is 1. Stack your legs over top of each other with the top leg to hip height. Now squeeze the bottom leg to the top leg with your inner thigh for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet slightly in front of you. Extend your arm right above your head. Palm facing front, pinky blade edge down. Hand on top of your body. If you need additional support, you can place your fingertips down on the mat. But we're going to do banana now. So we're going to squeeze under our arm, leaning into our pinky blade edge as we lift our legs and our upper body lifts like a little sideways banana and lower. Really squeeze under the arm as you lift. That way your shoulder stays down and lower. We have 3 more. Here's 3. Reach for those feet. And 2. Squeeze those glutes and lift for 1 and lower. Now, we're going to place the elbow underneath the shoulder and come up onto our forearm. We're going to do a one-armed teaser twist situation. So I'm going to reach my hand down my side, and then I'm going to rotate onto my onto my sits bones and lift up into a one-arm teaser so that I can really reach my back up long and straight while I reach for my toes. I'm going to roll back to a single hip, leaving my legs up in the banana, and reach my arm overhead for the next one, if I'm able to. If not, I'll leave my hand down by my side. And then I'm going to do 4 more. And lift. Tweeze the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Draw the belly button to the spine. Leave those legs lifted. And here's 3. Use that hand to really guide you, so that you're really able to find the exercise. Here's the last one. Can you lift your other arm up to meet it? Now, lower that left arm and come down onto the left side. We're already there for our other sideline legs. So I'm going to come down onto my side. I'm going to use my arm as a pillow. I'm going to bring my hand up, palm facing back, pat myself on the back, rest my arm on my bicep. Turn my feet out to Pilates feet, squeeze the glutes. I have a slight lift in my side for my little ants to crawl through. I'm going to lower lift for 10. And 9. Make sure you're squeezing your glutes and pressing down through that leg closest or on the mat. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn your feet to parallel, flex them, float that top foot up to hip height, float your foot forward and flex. When your feet are stacked, you're going to squeeze your glutes to pull that leg behind you gently. Find a nice hip stretch, and now point and forward and flex, squeeze your glutes. Point forward, flex, pull back, and forward, and flex. Here's 5. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1 more. Pull it back. Now stack those legs over top of each other with that top leg at hip height. Now the bottom leg in a file, squeeze up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach your arm out long, pinky blade edge down with your palm facing forward. Reach your hand down by your side. We're going to banana stretch. So find the connection under the arm first. Float the legs up and lift the upper body gently. You're not going to see a lot of lift. Your hand might slide an inch or 2, but that'll be it, guys. Now, if you can, reach your hand overhead, keep it down. Wrong exercise. And here's 3. If you start to feel your low back, bring your feet forward. 1 more. All right, guys. Come up to your forearm. It's time to do the one-armed teaser. So we're going to reach our hand down by our side for the first one. We're going to leave our feet floated up for all the ones in between. This first one, not so much. Rotate to both sits bones. Press up so your left hand's still connected. And reach for those toes. No, rotate to the hip again. Leave the feet up. Lift your arm over your head if you're able to, bicep by your ear, or leave your hand down by your side. And here's 2. And down. And here's 3. Don't forget to lift your feet up. Leave them up the whole time. We have 2 more. 2. Squeeze the glutes and lift. Lift both arms. Now, can you lower your feet down while you sit up tall? Separate your feet. Hip distance no wider than the mat. We're going to go into a modified spine stretch where we get the same sort of flat back hinge forward that we did on roll up and saw. If this is too much for your hamstrings, please feel free to roll up a mat for underneath your sits bones, put a rolled up towel under your sits bones, or put a wedge under your sits bones. Basically, just lift your tail slightly. We're going to pull up on the muscles on the tops of our knees, pull our toes back to our big toe,
reach our hands forward. This will be a 2-count spine stretch. We're going to do 3 straight spine stretches, and then we're going to add the back lift, or the flat back hinge lift. So we're going to inhale, articulate down, head, neck, and shoulders. Pull forward over the legs. And exhale back. And inhale forward. I accidentally added the exhale as I articulated forward. Sorry about that, guys, on the first one. Final one. Now let's add the flat back hinge. Inhale forward. Keep that connection under the arms. Lift your biceps up by your ears. Flat back hinge over your legs. Inhale, back down, and exhale back up to lifting. Inhale, articulate over your legs. Exhale, lift the flat back hinge. Inhale down. Exhale up. Head comes up last. Head goes down first. Flat back hinge. And lower. And exhale to lift. Now bring your arms out to the T. Bring your hands forward slightly. Spiral down to your pinky blade edge. Rotate to the right. Dive down. Saw off your pinky blade toe. Your pinky toe with your pinky blade finger. Oh no. And now dive down. Saw off your baby toe with your pinky blade edge of your finger. There we go. And dive. Sometimes it's hard to do the exercises and get it out, right? Keep that back hip down the whole time. Final set, and then we're going to go to neck pull. Now, place your fingers interlaced at the base of your skull with your thumbs long down your neck. From here, we're going to flat back, hinge back. When you start to feel your legs become light, tuck your tail, articulate down. The trick to keep going is not to pause too long. Inhale up. Articulate over your legs. Flat back hinge up here as well. So many flat back hinges. Sit up tall. Now, like I said, guys, the trick to neck pull is not to hang out at the bottom and think, oh my gosh, this is so hard. You're going to release too much muscle connection to continue the upward articulation to fold over your legs. So let's try it again. Let's inhale, flat back, back. Tuck the tail, articulate down. Inhale up. Flat back hinge. And sit up tall. Inhale back. Exhale down. Inhale. Peel, 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 peel. C-shaped curve over the legs. Flat back hinge up. Sit up tall. Halfway there. Inhale back. Tuck the tail, articulate down. Inhale. Flat back hinge up. Sit up tall. Guys, make sure you're not rounding in your flat back hinge. You might have to come up further than you think that you should. But we really want to find this stretch in the back of our legs. It's really going to help us later. And make sure you're not arching your back with the teaser that we're going to do in just a couple exercises. And sit up tall. Now I have to just personally, I'm going to scooch it forward. I'm going to take my hands by my hips, fingertips forward, and then I'm going to slide them back until I come down onto my forearms. My forearms are equally weighted. I'm tweezing the bottom tips of my shoulder blades to have nice wide open collarbones. I'm squeezing under my arms to lift. I'm going to march one leg to tabletop, other leg to tabletop. Let's can-can. I love to can-can. The trick to can-can is that it's going to come from the belly button below. So everything else from the belly button up stays stable. So we'll can-can rocking to the right hip. Now squeeze those obliques to pull those hips back to neutral. And now to the left hip and pull. If you feel yourself rocking off of your forearm, make your can-can less and pull back with the obliques. Now adding on to the right, extend both legs, bend both legs to tabletop, back through center to the left, extend and bend and center. To the right, extend and bend and center. Extend and bend and center. Adding on to the right and kick, 90 degrees and center. To the left and kick, 90 degrees and center. To the right, to the left. Feet on the ground. Rest the head, neck, and shoulders. Let's go into the teaser series. We're going to do 3 teasers. We're going to add hip circles onto a 4th one, and then we're going to be done with teaser for this class. You guys are doing great. We're going to start with our hands up or sternum under 12 for me. So right up the front like we've been doing the whole time, so we can find that nice connection under our arms. The nice rib wrap. We're going to bring our arms to a T, palms up, pinky blade edge comes in as we begin to float our head, neck, and shoulders up. Our eyes and toes are connected the whole time, guys, so they're right in line with each other. So as we begin to lower, our eyes and our toes stay in line the whole time. Our head, or back of our head, and our toes hit at the same time as our fingertips come up to our sternum 12 rib. Circle the arms out, palms up. Begin to articulate up. Reaching down as we reach up, just like we did on roll up. Now circle your arms out, away from your legs for 3, and 2, and 1, and reverse for 3, and 2, and 1, and articulate down, 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 fingertips up. Inhale, arms to a T, and exhale to lift. Now lower the legs an inch and lift. Lower the legs an inch and lift. Lower the legs an inch and lift. Keeping our eyes and toes connected, we articulate down. One more teaser, our hardest one. We're going to do hip circles the size of a bender ball. These are going to be similar to corkscrew 1. So inhale and exhale, articulate up and lift. Now, legs will go to the right, and legs will go to the left for a circle. And legs will go to the right for a circle. Try not to move your upper body. Left. One more set. And left. And begin to articulate down. Toes and head hit at the same time. Roll over onto your stomachs. We are going to do a back extension series to really stretch out the front of the body. On this back extension series, I understand if you like to get up higher by leaving your legs further apart. We're going to squeeze our legs together though. We're going to give a slight little baby tuck in our tail, draw our belly button to our spine, and wrap our ribs together super strongly so that we get more of a stretch along the front of the body. It's not how high you can go, it's how stretchy can you get on the front of the body. This is more of a front body stretch exercise today. So, squeeze your biceps into your ribs, plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Draw your belly button to your spine, wrap your ribs. Inhale, tweeze those bottom tips of the shoulder blades, nice wide collarbone, and press yourself up to a swan. Now articulate down, 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 down on the exhale. Your ribs should not kickstand or hit first and stop you from your articulation. They should be drawn in so tightly that you lift up and down seamlessly. Good. Try not to crunch your head to the back of your skull. So try to look down more. You want a nice, continuous line from the tip top of your head up through your spine and down. Now, slide your arms forward so that you're on your forearms and that your elbow is underneath your shoulders. Now pull apart the mat with your elbows and forearms. Lift up out of the front of your body, tucking your tail slightly, drawing your belly button to your spine, wrapping your ribs. We're going to do single leg kick. So don't tent your hips. Make your legs light by squeezing your glutes, hamstrings, and inner thigh. Now keep your legs light the whole time. Left leg first, flex, pulse, point, pulse, release. Right leg, flex, pulse, point, pulse, release. If your body is rocking forward, you are not using enough glute, make the movement smaller and more controlled, so slower. Flex, point, release. Flex, point, release. One more on each side. Flex, point, release. Flex, point, release. Down to the mat. We're going to be doing the double leg kick now, guys. I'm going to show a modified version first for those of us with shoulder issues or neck issues. And then, so we're going to do 2 with the modified version, and then the rest of them I'm going to do as more classic double leg kick exercise. I understand there's lots of versions of classic, right? I'm going to stack my hands on top of each other, rest my forehead on my hands, Draw my belly button, my spine, squeeze my glutes, squeeze my inner thighs, wrap my ribs. Both legs are light, and I'm going to kick both legs. 1, 2, 3. Lower and ground my legs, and lift my head, neck, and shoulders. My forehead's going to be heavy on my hands, and lower. Make my legs light and kick, kick, kick. Ground my legs and lift and lower. You're welcome to continue that modification. Otherwise, I'm going to place my hands at the base of at my sacrum. I'm going to come to my right ear, looking to the left side. My legs are light. I'm going to kick, kick, kick. I'm going to interlace my fingers, squeeze the bottom tips of my shoulder blades, and lift. Trying to keep my head, neck, and shoulders in a line with a continuous line with the rest of my spine. I'm going to lower my head to the right side on my left ear, place my hands at my sacrum, make my legs light, and kick, kick, kick. Interlace my fingers and lift my head, neck, and shoulders, pulling my hands back towards the end of the mat. Hands to sacrum on my right ear. Legs light for kick, kick, kick. Interlace fingers and lift. Nice chest expansion. And lower, hands at my sacrum, left ear, legs light, kick, kick, kick. Interlace my fingers and lift. Hands at my sacrum to my right ear. I'm going to reach my hands in front of me. I'm going to press back into a child's pose. Try to sit on my heels here. Reach my hands forward over my head. I'm going to walk my hands to the left side, reaching long for a little side stretch here. Try to keep that right hip where it is, so I feel the stretch all the way down to my head. I'm going to walk through center. I'm going to walk to my hands to the right side. Keep my left hip where it is, so I feel that stretch all the way down my left side. Come back through center. Take my right hand, thread the needle under the left side, looking out underneath my left arm. This is my favorite child's pose series right now, guys. I'm doing it a lot, sorry. Bring that hand back, replace it, but take my left hand and go the opposite direction, threading the needle with my left arm underneath my right arm. I'm going to come back through center one more time. Replace that hand. Articulate up to sitting up tall. I'm going to take a nice big breath. And exhale. Guys, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this class on tweaking your tweezer. If you have any questions or need any modifications, please feel free to reach out, and I hope that everyone has a great day. Thank you.